welcome back to B.Y.C Crochet. My name is Brenda and welcome to my yarny cave. And Kona is right. She's giving me the stink eye. See if I can have you guys see where she's at. Hey Kona. Without getting you all blurry. If the camera got blurry, I apologize. I'm trying not to do that. So welcome guys. As you can see, I have my new top on. I'll post a picture somewhere around here of the full scale. Let me know what you think. I know a couple things I would do a little bit different, but I think it's pretty nice. And I think that once I launder it, it's probably going to shrink a little bit and it should still be fine. So yep, it does have buttons here so you can adjust the strap. And I know that's something that I've always struggled with, is the straps being long enough or short. Long or short. Too long or too short. And then how do you go about it unless you do it with a tie? And so that's why I decided to put buttons. So yes, it is Thursday afternoon, guys. It's been a busy day at work. I just wanted to get something out to you guys before the end of the week. And I did receive some yarn porn. And of course, the hubby's just arriving, so you'll hear Kona probably getting loud in just a moment. If she does, I will go ahead and pause the video and then we'll restart. Anyways, welcome guys. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. This channel is usually about yarn and what's on my hook and what things I've completed. Sometimes I do tutorials. I am not the best at tutorials. I have written some patterns, but my patterns are more of like layman's terms. So basically, you read it as I'm making it. That's how I write it. So I'm not a pro at it. So yeah, but I try to share with you guys as much as I can. What I do love to do is buy yarn, and with that I also like to gift yarn and pay it forward, because of course I cannot hoard all of that yarn here, so there's no way. So I am going to pause the video. I'm going to let Kona do her thing once her data comes in, and then I'll finish recording and I'll show you everything that I got, okay? Be right back. Okay, so he said his hello. He's actually back outside taking out the trash. I told him I'm recording. He goes, it's okay. So guys, I found some of that magic yarn that I got from Temu, and I actually made this kind of receiving blanket. Isn't that pretty? With it. And it's like the perfect size for like a newborn baby, like a receiving blanket size. Let's go ahead. I'll measure it really quick. Let me get my handy dandy tape measure. And it is approximately 33 inches by, whoops, sorry guys, didn't mean to do that right in your face, about 27-28 inches. So it's a good size. And the bag of yarn, when you buy this, it comes 4 skeins to a bag, and I just used the one bag and created this blanket, which is, like I said, I think it's the perfect size for like a welcome blanket, a receiving blanket. Not a welcome blanket, a receiving blanket. The only thing is that this yarn is roving, and it did have a lot of towards in the last skein there was a lot of pieces that were not spun, and I almost had to pull some of it out because it was just so much. and then I actually had to kind of spin it a little bit in order for the fibers to kind of get some control. And then I went ahead and finished it. So I'm curious to see if some of the other ones that I ordered that just came are going to be the same way. But still, I just love this colorway. I think it is so beautiful and so pretty, and it's such a happy colorway. I think it would be a nice gift for a new baby. It's really soft too, which is key. So that is my FO / sample of the yarn I'm about to show you. So that is, I believe, the same colorway. Now, these don't have color names, but I'll still show you the bag and what the yarn looks like. This is the same yarn. It looks like the other one was, to me, it looked like the other one was a little bit brighter, but still very pretty. See, it's roving. There is, and this is what it looks like. That's the label. It is from Temu. It's 185 yards, 100% acrylic, made in China. It does say machine washable, but do not put in the machine. Well, actually, it says machine washable and dryable printed on the label. Can you see? It's a little bit. Anyways, Oeko-Tex standard 100, and it's considered a jumbo 7, which I don't think is a jumbo 7. At the most, it's a 5, a bulky 5, and it tells you to use a 5mm crochet hook, so definitely not a 7. But very pretty colorway. So that I got a pack of those, and that comes again with 4 skeins to a pack. And I got a pack of this other colorway. Same specs, just a different colorway. Like I said, there's no colorway on the labels. It just gives you the main information, but no colorway. No. This is the next one. It's a really beautiful pink. All different shades of pink. Really pretty. Let me go ahead and turn on this light just in case, because the sun's going down, and there you go. So that is the second colorway. Then we have this really pretty blue. This is just gorgeous. It's like turquoise, a little bit of teal, the white. Isn't it gorgeous? You hear noise in the background, that's my hubby. Really pretty. So yeah, I was cutting, actually, I was telling my husband when he walked in, since I was cutting little pieces of sweet potato to make like sweet potato chips for Kona, and a few fell on the floor and she ate them. Now I'll have to keep an eye on her to make sure she doesn't end up with an upset tummy. So we also got, now this has got the same name on the band, but it's not the same yarn. Okay. This is also called Magic Yarn. It does indicate that it's also a 7, which is not. It does indicate that it is 100% polyester. This is 131 yards. It is machine washable and dryable according to the label. Also Oeko-Tex standard 100. It calls for a 5mm crochet hook. It's a really pretty colorway. It looks like a watermelon. Isn't that pretty? I look at this and this looks very like springy, watermelon, probably tulips. I mean, those are the things that come to mind when I look at this. Maybe not so much watermelon, but definitely like tulips. I don't know. It just looks very flowery to me, very garden-like. So we'll see. Probably also do another receiving blanket with this one. But most of these are probably going to be receiving blankets. I'm still doing blankets for it's a charity that my mother donates to, and so I'll probably send them to her. Plus sometimes I also keep some and then gift them when babies are going to be born and ask for baby showers. Then I also got, now I guess Magic Yarn is the name of the company. This one is like a solid cream color. Let's see if we can determine what it's made of. Ugh. This is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. It's 196 yards. Made in China. It says machine washable and dryable. I think that 7 jumbo is on every ball, in every skein. It doesn't matter in all the labels. There's no way this is a 7, but this would be considered, I would say, a DK weight. And it says here a 4mm crochet hook, so that portion of it is accurate. And it's just a cream color. It feels soft. It feels soft. I would assume that once you launder it, it may soften up even more, but it does feel soft. So we have that in the cream. Again, the bags don't have color names, so I wish they did so I can tell you what they were, but they don't. And then finally I have one of each of these colors, and these remind me of like ice yarn skeins. They look big on the computer. When you get it, it's a tiny little thing. This is considered a 3. Wow. This is, to me, I think I'm more of a sport weight, but that's okay. That's definitely closer than the jumbo that they've been putting on all the labels. It's 50% cotton, 50% bamboo. Now, for it being 50% cotton, 50% bamboo, I would have thought it would be much softer. And if you ask me, if I were not aware of what was on this yarn, what the yarn was made up of, I would say that it probably was 50% cotton, 50% linen. That is really what I would say. That's how it feels. Now again, it's very likely that when you launder it, it'll soften up. But right now, right out of the bag, it feels like the yarn's got some linen in it. But according to the label, it's 50 cotton, 50 bamboo. If you're familiar with bamboo, you know that bamboo feels very soft, and this doesn't feel soft at all. Feels a little bit on the rough side actually, and it's made in China. It does say machine washable and dryable as well, and it indicates a 4mm crochet hook. But it is a pretty color. It's like a tealy green. And finally, it's that same yarn except in this really pretty pink. So let me go ahead and get one out and show you. Perhaps maybe the pink feels softer. We'll see. No, it does not feel softer. It feels the same. but the same is same specs, just different colorway. And this had a ripped tag, so let me fix it really quick. Okay, fixed. Put this back here. I'll probably have to rebag these because these bags I had to tear up in order to get into it. So yeah, so that is my yarn haul from Temu. I am very happy with, well, I'm really happy with everything because I'm glad that I was able to share with you guys. But I'm especially happy with these three because I already worked one up and I already know what I know what to expect. And the yarn is super soft. I just hope that when I wash it, it doesn't like clump up and get all, but yeah. But I love this color, really pretty. So what else did I get? I think yarn related, that is all that I have. I am working on, or working with, some of the yarn that I bought from Hirschner's. And you guys recall the Bee Twirly yarn from Hirschner's? This is a really beautiful color. It's really beachy. So I'm doing also another blanket. Probably it's going to be another receiving blanket size. And these are really just cleansing projects for me. Palette cleansing projects for me, only because after you've been working in something like this with such a small hook, very thin yarn for an extended period of time, your hands kind of feel it a little bit. So it's, for me, it's also good to do something that is a little bit bigger. There's not much thought behind it, not so much counting or trying to calculate. And this particular top is something that is my own creation. So I'm not only trying to count and trying to see how I'm going to go about doing, I'm trying to design it at the same time. So with that said, there's a lot, you know, that you know, your mind goes through and trying to figure things out. And so once that's done, it's nice to be able to do something so simple as just a granny blanket. So so yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I've reached the end of my yarn, so I have to go ahead and tie on a new ball, and I'll do that later and I'll continue working on it later tonight I should say, after I take a shower and kind of relax and yeah. I also wanted to mention something really quick. I know you guys heard, many of my viewers, I know you guys also follow Nancy. And Nancy did give me a call before she announced what had happened with Cindy. And of course, we are all heartbroken. She's heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. Not only, you know, these were puppies that my Kona had, and they were like my grandbabies. But my heart's broken for her dad, you know, and my heart's broken for Tilly. So, you know, these things are never easy, and they're simply just an accident that nobody foresees coming. And I would never, I just want to clarify that I would never even dream of thinking, I mean, I know that Nancy and her family and her dad give Tilly and Cindy all the love and care that they deserve, and then some. So I have no worries, I have no reservations, and these are just freak accidents that happen. It could happen to any one of us. It's just unfortunate. So, you know, if you all are thinking, I wonder what Brenda thinks, well, now you know what I think. It's an unfortunate accident. It happens. It can happen to anyone at any given time. When you have animals, You know, sometimes they are unpredictable. They do things that you don't think they're going to do, or you don't expect them to do, and sometimes a tragic situation happens, and that's exactly what happened. And so, you know, we all miss Cindy, but you know, now we need to move on and just make sure that Dad's okay, and make sure the mom's okay, meaning Nancy's mom and dad. Because for those of you who have pets and know what it is to lose an animal, it is heartbreaking. So, you know, that's the concern now. So my love goes out to them, to Nancy, to Tilly, you know, and to the pack, because they all, you know something's missing. So with that said, guys, that is all that I have for you. As soon as I figure out what my next project's gonna be, because these are just, like I said, cleansing projects that I have on my hook. That's not the project, but I think that my next project is going to be, and you tell me, what do you think? It's going to be a mesh bag with that glittery cotton yarn that I got from AliExpress. Hold on a second, let me see if I have it here. Yes. Yes. You see that sun? That's coming straight. I think I'm going to do a market bag, a mesh market bag with this. Not this kind right here, but just the basic mesh market bag with one of these yarns. What do you think? I think that's going to be my next project on my hook. So I'll put it here just as a let it simmer into my head and see, or perhaps I'll create a market bag that is a little bit different. You know, I like to do my market bags in cotton for sure, and acrylic for me is just blankets. I cannot see myself making a sweater in acrylic or anything else in acrylic other than perhaps a blanket or a scarf. Any clothes or wearables that I make are always going to be cotton. This is actually the first one that this is the Katina yarn that is 50%. No, it's cotton and fine merino wool, and so it doesn't feel too hot. So this is actually, I did it on purpose because I want to test run this fabric to see how it feels. Now, in all fairness, it is very holey, it's very meshy, so the expectation is that it's going to be a little bit on the cool side. And so we'll see if it ends up being cool, or even with all the holes and the airiness, if it's still warm. So I'll try to keep you posted. I'll let you know. So now for real, that is all that I have for you guys. I pray that wherever you are in the world, you're having a blessed morning, noon, night, evening from the Yarny Cave. Peace. I love you guys. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Bye.